hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals, they take us higher. The night's young, it has just begun as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be two hearts running wild. Now the morning is the afternoon. We lay awake and
Good afternoon, everyone. It's Friday, 5th of December. Not promising a full live today, but I'm definitely live and we're definitely going to make some progress on Fleur, but we will have to see. So I was a little bit late. Part of this was me waiting on some parcel deliveries. And then I just got a message being like, yeah, we're going to be later. So it's going to be somewhere between now and the next 2 hours. So yeah, I guess I thought I was going to be convenient because the first parcel delivery message was like, we'll be there between like, I think it was 12:30 and 2:15, and I was like, perfect. And now it's like, oh, we'll be there between 2:15 and 4:30. Yeah, whatever. So I thought I could do it all nice and convenient. I have received all the parcels and not having to run from here, but that is just not how it's going to work out today. Anyhow, it is important because one of the parcels is a present, which I need for tomorrow. Technically today, it's Sinterklaas here in the Netherlands, and it's kind of like celebrationally. We got my mom-in-law presents because we don't celebrate Christmas in the same way. So we got her some different presents for Sinterklaas, which we will be celebrating tomorrow instead with a nice meal and so on. And one of those is actually coming here in the mail. And it was something we realized when we were there yesterday for dinner that she could actually use. So it was like a bit of a last emergency extra order kind of thing, us being nice. And the other one should be the jacket I ordered. I'm just still very, very concerned it's not going to sit nicely on me, or it's going to be too big, or it's going to be too small, or whatever. Not because I did order it a number larger than what I normally would do, because I'm wanting to wear like a good sweater underneath without everything sitting too tight. So I'm nervous because I really need it for next week actually. Well, I do have a jacket. It's just a little bit on the tight end. So yeah. Good morning, Revenant. And good morning, Susan. Wonderful to have you guys with me. So, as mentioned in the text title of this stream is we're going to progress on Fleur. And what's quite important for me just to quickly mention this, I've not had time to work on Fleur since last stream because yesterday I caught up with work. I had to do some pre-recordings for the Advent series. I just had a lot of things. So, and when I finally had time, I had like half an hour before I went to bed, and I was like, no, just I'm not having a head for it. And yeah, I guess that's good because we did Wednesday got a little bit further than what I should minimum do a day, but it does mean that this weekend and maybe even tonight, later today, I will have to play a bit of catch up. It kind of depends because the thing is, I still have other things to do, right? Like I have a bunch of laundry I need to get washed and folded, and all these like tedious tasks. So yeah, I'm just trying to unwrap Fleur here for you guys. Yep, just give me a moment. Let me pop over here. So as you can see, I have kind of Fleur here, but I need to figure out what part is what. And then, as said, I will probably get disturbed at some stage by the delivery guy, but that's at least it's the same guy that should be delivering both parcels. And if it's not, then it's the most inefficient parcel delivering company ever, which sometimes actually are the case. Really, the amount of delivery people I've seen lately is insane. Like but we also have so many different delivery services here. I have the feeling everybody is like trying to get into the logistic market, I guess. So that's a bit nuts. Let's see. Pattern. Because we are still on row 111, which means we only have one side left of this row, and then we'll pop back over to cream. It is still looking really nice, if I have to say so. So I did this and I did these, and then it's 8. I genuinely wish I had more time to get it done. I need to pop you guys up a bit. I think that was better. And see, I am wearing my new poncho, which is so nice. I got it washed, so I did have time to do that wash. And I am happy. It is nice and warm. Susan likes doing laundry. Oh my goodness, do you want mine? Especially, I don't mind doing the actual washing and hanging it up or taking it down. For that matter, putting it into the dryer. But I absolutely digest folding laundry. Sorting socks, for example. My goodness. Good afternoon, Helle. And Revenant says, I think I've decided on a shawl pattern to work off, going with the cheap Chesapeake shawl. It's a cool mix of stitches, and of course, I would say it's Joanne the Yarn Addict. I doubt it can be worse than DHL. DHL just delivered me a parcel, and they delivered it 2 hours ago. I had 3 parcels coming today. This is actually our local post, so it's like US Post, I guess, would be the closest comparison for the Americans. It's our national post service. Yeah, not much I can do, you know. At least they're still delivering today, which I'm happy. And one of the parcels was basically being like, you can risk it being delivered between 8 and 10 p.m., like 8 a.m. and 10 p.m. And I'm like, my goodness, I have appointments this evening. I need to get out of the house. So, and I need to cook dinner and stuff like that. So, and because there's a few uncertain things today, I will probably cut the stream a bit earlier than normal, like maybe at 4, so 2 hours time, a bit less than 2 hours. 2, 4, 6, 8. But I thought you guys were happy for me just getting live, and it fit so much better in my agenda than trying to figure out something else, or you would just have totally radio silence for almost a week. And I thought, well, actually, I'll just, I'll pre-record a yarn talk update for everything I've done, and then you can get that next week, Friday. And I'll do that like Monday, because that is when I'm last time home, and I will have the time to do it. So you can get a few extra days of update into that one. I think it's also a great idea because obviously I won't have much time to craft while I'm away. So it makes most sense to get the most update in, so to say. Let's see. I think I made a stitch too many. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Wonderful. Then it's 2, 3, 1, 1. Yeah. It's a paid pattern on Ravelry. Yeah. I've been thinking. So we are gonna do. We are actually gonna like stock my stash on Ravelry in the new year. So maybe would that make sense? Like, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with a complete clean stock because I've not updated it since forever. So I'm thinking, would it make sense to, like, for every episode, make an update? This is now the current amount in my stash, etc. Like, so we kind of add to the stash for every episode and keep like an update of it all, not including obviously what's been used, because keeping track on both at the same time is going to be quite of a bit of a nightmare, because I need to pre-record some of these, and then maybe I'll have used some of it, so it's not going to be 100% accurate at the end of the year. But I also don't think it's going to be too big of a difference skein wise. Maybe, I don't know, 20-30 skeins difference or something like that. But I think that for 2027, I then should be able to have an accurate stash if I'm good enough at keeping my Ravelry stash updated. So I think I should be doing that. I also believe that on Ravelry, you are practically able to like see other people's stashes or not. Or is it a private thing? Because like you could also put on your stash like you're willing to sell certain aspects. Just like I'm not gonna go back and find all the pricings of the yarns, but what I will likely do is I'll put the normal listing price if I got it on sale or not. Well, mostly I get yarns on sale, but I don't always. It's less important. But I should probably do something along those lines too. There is a lot of yarns to get stacked and stocked, that is for sure. That is for sure. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. So I think that's kind of the direction maybe I should be going. Plus, I'm already stacking in Ravelry the Shop My Stash yarns that I've picked out for the Advent calendar. That is something that I'm doing as well to help keep track of that. So yeah, that's what's going on in my mind right now, while waiting on the courier that's supposed to bring me 2 parcels. Hallelujah. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. And I hope everybody is having a wonderful Friday. Do you have any plans this coming weekend, or today for that matter? And I see we are discussing Yuan's pattern. And I personally don't know if you made a tutorial. I have not always kept up. Sometimes it goes too quick. And that's sometimes the thing when you stream yourself. It's just suddenly a lot of things happens and goes on. It is a lovely shawl, by the way. There are holiday festivals and shows tree lighting this weekend. Oh, that sounds nice. I really enjoyed the light shows we were visiting back in New Zealand. That was really, really beautiful. Um, I think light shows are vastly underrated. And I do believe actually one of the zoos here in the Netherlands is also doing something similar along those lines. So I don't know if we will have time to actually maybe visit or see it this year. That would be really cool if we did, because honestly, it's gorgeous, gorgeous lights. So I'd really, really be happy if we could make it that this year. But we tend to be really busy. It feels a bit like before COVID. Um, you know, before COVID, we were also constantly busy. So life has definitely to some extent returned to what it was, but not completely. And why am I saying this? It's because um, how can I best say this? You know, I'm not competing myself as much as I used to, and therefore I'm training less and everything like that. So in that sense, life is definitely less active. Let's see. I need to check where I am in the pattern now. Uh, uh, ee, ee, 6 double crochets. So, but I guess that's also a change of life in general. A part of me refuses to let go of good times, so it gets a bit of a desperate feeling to hang on, rather than sometimes one needs to accept that it's a long gone time. It's a past. Can I connect in a different way? And sometimes, yeah, it's a bit of an acceptance as well, right? Um, So the competition that we're heading off to Luxembourg, we are there every year, and I used to compete there. But I'm obviously not performing like I used to, and henceforth I choose not to compete. But I'm still there because I do other things at the venue. Um, and am I missing competing? Certainly. But I could technically compete. I could just sign up and be allowed to compete. But I don't want to, because I'm not performing like I used to, and I don't want to be at the bottom of the list. It's I'm used to making finals, and now it's just being like, I'm happy if I'm not in the bottom, let's say 10, which is not very nice feeling, to be honest, especially not when you're used to being better. Um, so I'm kind of optioning not to, because then I'm not, at least, being disappointed. It sounds like there is no tutorial for the mentioned shawl. Anyhow, this is progressing still nicely, and yeah, I remember now. So soon we gotta change back to cream. So we do have you could say we still have color changes. It's just not a new color, because cream is a color I've seen from the very, very beginning of this. And I need to keep track as well. We need 5, so that'll be 4, 5. I have to say I really like this petrol color. It works up nicely with the blue, even though it's not super visible on the camera, I think. But we did talk about it last time. Yeah, it's a little bit better. I tried to lighten up the camera a bit, and I think it works. My hands aren't too bright. Like it's within what's reasonable, right? But yeah, so the big question is still whether I will reach to finish off this blanket this year. Don't know, we could like make a poll. Do you believe I will finish Fleur in 2025? Yes or no? Um Personally, I'm not sure. Like a part of me is like, yeah, I'll do it. And part of me is like, yeah, but if I have too many days like yesterday, then probably not. And then that's how it's gonna be. I have peace with that too. No, was a curio of some kind, but not for me. Obviously, I do pay attention to curios because when they do come and bust at the doorbell, you gotta move. Like they don't really give you much time to get moving. 2, 4, 6, and the thought of having to go pick it up downtown tomorrow is not convenient. That is definitely not convenient. Da, da, da. Oh my goodness. Not sure what that was. A car with very loud music, and it says something when it's on the street. It drives by and it has loud music. I hear the boom, 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 boom. And I'm wearing like a headset that makes everybody more diluted, the noise. So it goes through the walls and the windows. We have no open windows. And I can still hear it. That is not good for your hearing. That is genuinely not good for your hearing. Sometimes it's curious driving around music like that. And I'm like, goodness. Why even do it? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And people don't consider the fact that loud audio like this, it destroys your hearing. And if you first have a hearing impairment or hearing loss, you will not regain your hearing. It is not to be fixed. It's like gone. Like, why would you do that to yourself? Absolutely fine to hear music at normal levels, but like, why would you intentionally put yourself in a surrounding where it's so loud that you destroy your own hearing? I do not understand. Anyhow, I do have a tea today, so I hope you guys brought something to drink as well, because we all need to hydrate from time to time. And if you haven't hydrated yet during this stream, I would say do hydrate, my friends. I have my favorite mug of tea, and I did a winter glow earlier today that was really nice, but now I changed it up to this classic lemonish tea that I did drink a bit when I had my cold. Now I'm gonna check if it's still too warm to drink. Probably is. It's on the edge. It's on the edge. It could probably do with another 15 minutes of cooling, and then it's like nice temperature to drink. Is what I'll imagine. And this weekend, I definitely also need to prep some packing. Because that's less packing for Monday. So we leave Monday after dinner. It's a 4 hours drive. So basically what we'll do is we'll eat, pack the car, drive straight to the hotel and check in. Which totally reminds me, I was actually to hit send on an email, which I didn't hit send on. So I am just for one moment going to do something administrative, which is, well, first loading my mail. It's already written. I just wanted a confirmation before I would send it. I just needed to write the kind regards bits, but you know, that is quickly done. So, cool, done. Gosh, things sometimes go fast. But yeah, and I think it is like it's the 5th of December, which means there is 20 days left for Christmas. 19 if you're me. And the reason for this is in Denmark, and how I'm grown up, we celebrate Christmas on the 24th in the evening. So we meet with the family and we have dinner together. And it's like a very filling dinner. It's very, let's say, if you're afraid of calories, you probably shouldn't eat it. It will be really good for your side bones. And the average Dane probably gains like 2 kilos during Christmas and then spends 2 weeks to get rid of them again. But Christmas is around the corner. And we have a really nice dinner in the evening. And then after the dinner, we kind of like help each other clearing up the table and stuff like this. And we prepare for coffee and tea. We have biscuits, like Christmas biscuits that's been baked anywhere from like now until Christmas. Like you make a big stash of biscuits, Christmas cookies. Then we sing and walk around the Christmas tree. Yes, I know this sounds crazy, but it is a real thing. We actually walk around the Christmas tree and sing these Danish Christmas carols. And then it's time for presents where we all like unbox our presents. And we do it in my mom's family, we do it one by one. So, you know, somebody finds the first present and we'll have a look at what this person got from who, and then the next person gets to unwrap their present, and it's like we get to wait our turn basically, and no person gets a present twice in a row unless sometimes we have kids which gets extra presents and it's a bit of an um, situation, right? Because, you know, kids tend to get more gifts from their parents and grandparents and so on. And while we do have a budget within the family, we don't have a budget internally, so to say. So there isn't a budget between me and my parents or me and my partner, but there is a budget between, let's say, me and my aunt. And my aunt actually wished her something, which I happen to have unused in my stash. And I decided, yes, I'll bring it because I actually realized I actually have 2 sets of it. So why wouldn't I bring one of them? She wished herself some pom-pom makers, you know, those plastic pom-pom makers you make pom-poms with. And I happen to have 2 sets of 3 different sizes, different brands though. And I'll bring one of those back. You know, I already have it. I don't need 2 sets. Why would I need 2 sets? So of course, why wouldn't I give her one for Christmas? So that's what I'm gonna be doing. She'll get something else, of course, but you know, metaphorically seen, that clears out some space here. So I guess there is a win-win to some of it. I have the feeling, yeah, that was the post car, and he stopped. So I will guess that I will very shortly have to get moving. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna finish these stitches. I can hear him getting out of the car and be ready because I know how little time I will have to react when the dog goes. They are in such a hurry, people. I'm quite sure it's for me. I wouldn't be surprised otherwise. The door hasn't gone yet, but I'm awaiting. It's going any second. So I'm just gonna check the what is it called? The track and trace. Oh, he drives on. Come on. It's to be delivered between 14:36 and 15:02. And now he just drove on. I guess it's new guy not knowing where to be. God gracious. Do you bet if I take my blanket back on me on the lap here, what is the likelihood that this guy is going to bust the doorbell? It's very big. But I can see in the window that he drove on and he didn't come along. Which means this dude either couldn't find my house or they're shit poor at distribution. And by this I mean really shit poor, because they're sending 2 trucks to do the same work. Like, can't imagine them being this poor at it, because how can they actually then even make a living? 2, 4, 2, 4, 6. But maybe, I don't know. We are just missing a 1 double here. And then we need to close it and grab up the other working end. So what can I say right now? Yeah, it's a little bit of a mess here with how I'm sitting with this project. But I guess this is me preparing to run when they come, because they most certainly will. So far, all my orders have arrived as promised, even the 2 deliveries from Canada. That's awesome, Susan. Well, my orders are just promised to be somewhere between now and within the next hour and a half. And then they changed, updated time until between 15 minutes ago and until 20 minutes from now. And the car just been here. Like the right car just drove by. I can see it. They drive by the street, which is like 20 meters that direction. Oh, goodness. It's what it is. Okay. So I need to change around what's on my spindle because we changed to cream. So right now my spindle had this petrol, and I can't unwind it unwind it up too much again because that is not gonna work. Then I will have a yarn mess, a different level of yarn mess. Cream landed on the spindle. But yeah, maybe he just doesn't like if it's a new courier and they don't know this area. What we sometimes have is that they don't actually know what house we live in because the navigation tells you that we live in our backyard, which we don't. And then there isn't a house and there isn't actually numbers to look at, even though there's at our front part. But yeah, maybe. Let's see. So round 12, 112. I started with a corner that I already made, and then I need to make 2 single crochets, which fits with the corner double and the double crochet of the previous row. And then I need to make 5 doubles instead of 6 doubles. That shortens my by 1, but that's okay. Like this. And then we have 11 singles from where I snatched one on the other side, and then there's these 8 from the previous row. That gives 9, then plus 2. They do change from time to time. The UPS have been very good. Granted, I don't live in the boonies. We have a mailboxes at the street with our house number, and I also have my house number on the front door. We have our house number on the front door, but all our neighbors before our number has their, how can I say, let's see. This is the row of houses, right? Like this is front porches. So imagine this being 4 houses or 4 rows, so to say, but we share the same roof. We live at this end or at the very end, and our entry is on the side. Then the 2 people in the middle have their entries on the front side, and the last one has theirs on their side. And our house number is listed on this side, but the streets they drive by comes like on this side, but we live on the corner on the street as well. So basically they drive around here, and sometimes first when they cross around they will see our number, but else we would basically have a house number listed where there is no door, which seems a bit weird too. So it is technically next to our door if one would want to look at it like that. I have a premium end unit. Yeah, well, I should say my partner has a premium end unit. It's not my house, it's his. I just live here. I'm blessed to be allowed to live with him. But yeah, it's the premium ones because we have our own driveway where all the ones, like the ones just behind me, based on how I'm sitting right now, behind my email wall, we have a neighbor, and they have to park their car on the street where we have our own driveway or small parking lot next to our garden, however you want to look at it. Front garden, even. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. And then I need to make 6 doubles. We'll make 6 doubles. But yeah, so we have a little bit more room because we do have a bit more garden than the others, because we are on the end. And we have a little bit more side because we also have a little bit more room on the side. So we have a bit more width to our house, so to say. So also the staircase upstairs would be more on our side of the house rather than the middle with the rest. So we have, in that sense, a bit more room. That said, we do use the underneath of our staircase, we have a closet, or a pantry, basically. It works as a pantry where we keep food. I'm quite happy I wouldn't have to keep that in the closet here in the kitchen because I won't have room for it. I love my pantry, food pantry. So that was 6. Then I need to do 5. The anticipation I have with this parcel delivery is crazy. Well, according to this, it should be delivered within the next 10 minutes. Well, we'll see. It's been updated a few times this day, so I'm not really sure what to believe anymore. Okay, so we did 5 singles. I need to do 2 doubles. Then we need 2 singles. And I would say a single double, probably, yeah. And we need to repeat. So yeah, I'm gonna sit a bit inconvenient with this project until I have received that parcels because it's gonna be even more inconvenient packing it too much up, I think. Oh, we need to do fun stuff until then, but I'd rather be progressive. We are trying to progress a bit on this because, as we talked about, if I really want to finish this one this year, I do have work to do. Let's see, I hope I didn't actually just assume. No, I'm good. Okay, that is, and then I need to do, I need to do 2 extra there. Okay, cool. Some also have additional decorative address signs in the yard. Yeah, that could be a possible option. End units in the US are usually more expensive. I don't stress over deliveries unless they're of high value. I guess it's because I'm so curious if that jacket, the coat I bought, if that's actually gonna fit me. I'm like, please, by the praise of God, be what I hope you would be. And if not, I'm gonna be like, uh-oh. Well, I'm gonna return it if it's not gonna fit, obviously. And then I may have to go to the city and hope that I can find something. Let's say that's gonna be Sunday. I could then combine it with other things, of course, but 2, 4, 6, which I might have to because guess what? My mom had this great idea that I need to buy my partner's present from them for Christmas because if it needs to get changed or something like that, and I know what he likes, blah, 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 it's much easier if I do it, which is true. And of course, I'll help my parents with the convenience of things. But yeah, I'm realizing that does send me one more trip to the stores than I had actually planned, but it's going to be fine. Hopefully. Yes, my new coat. I'm super excited to share it as well if I fit it. That's the big question. I don't know if how it will fit. Um, good, I hope, because else I'll be really sad. 2, 4, 6, 7. That's fitting, so I need to do 6 doubles here. It's not the red one that I showed you guys. I really like that red one, but I actually found one I liked even more, which is in a light gray, like a muse gray, and I thought that was cool. And the one they had in red was like a more like a dark Bordeaux, kind of like red brownish, and I'm like, not really my red. So that's why I didn't option for the red color. But yeah. Hello, Lisa. Good morning to you, my lady. Susan says, my mom gives money for the gifts. It's always the right size and color. Yeah, that's true. But that's basically technically what's happening here. Is that I'll be helping too, right? Which is fine. And I also know that they're not exactly looking for this Christmas shopping aspect of thing due to my mom's energy levels and everything. 2, 4, 5. Then it's 2, 2, 1, 2, 2. But yeah, I don't know. Let's see if they will actually be here. I guess the reason I'm also really following this is because I'm live with you guys and I don't want to miss the delivery, because if I miss the delivery, I need to pick it up downtown and then it takes another day before I have it. And I'm kind of on a schedule here. So also because one of them is for a present for tomorrow and I'd really not want to go downtown to pick it up. So that is another reason for me being really much on top of this delivery. I think I need to do 5. Lisa says some of my kids are getting money too. Money is great, like you can always get what you need. It's definitely always a great option. 2, 4, 5. For my adult kids, we put together boxes of, I do believe you say, frozen meat for Christmas. Well, it's always good to have meat. Meat is, meat is expensive. It's gotten really expensive, meat, compared to what it used to be. As in really expensive. Two, 4, 6. Then I need to do 8. which is until there. So that's easy. But I also think we talked about that a few times, how expensive meat has gotten, right? It's been a returning topic of this random discussion on the channel, because it's, yeah. Reverend says, my partner's kids have only really wanted gift cards for the last 8 years or so. There are benefits to gift cards. You can get exactly what you want. And sometimes, I guess that's also a thing, right? With the benefit of gift cards, because you can wish for something that's a bit more pricey, but you can't put that on your wish list because it's not necessarily within budget. And if that's the case, then maybe a gift card is a bit more like that's within more budget logics to ask for. That could also be it, right? What is the budget? What's okay? 43453. We give them some cuts that they would never buy for themselves, like steaks and a couple of nice roasts. Great idea. And again, that's the more premium cuts that we are like, yeah, but do I really need that on a daily basis? Because it is exactly what you say. They are more pricey, likely. Oh my goodness, I feel like a good rump steak right now. I have a feeling they're not going to make it on time because they should have busted the doorbell by now. So now the real question is, if they say we did deliver already, then I'm going to be like, then it's at my porch and they didn't say that they would do that. Oh, now they updated the time again. My goodness. Now it's back to the original timing, which is between 14:15 and 16:15. Okay, whatever. I'm giving up on this courier. Genuinely giving up. I wonder sometimes if their cars then are having routes and they thinks that they have different parcels with them or something like that. And then they didn't get packed and then they realize. I have no clue. It seems like technicalities. Susan says, Lisa, is it beef or game meat? And Lisa says, mostly beef and pork. This year they will get a bit of game meat as well. Yeah, because your husband took down a few deers, didn't he? If I remember correct. Uh, where's the package coming from? One package is coming from the Netherlands, but it was bought last night. The fact that it's getting delivered today is crazy, but they're quick enough to do that. It is like sort of Amazon Prime, but a Dutch version of Amazon Prime. And the other parcel is coming from Germany, but it's been in the, like, I've had a tracking ID since Sunday night, no, Monday. And I first got the information today, okay, we have actually now received your parcel from Germany and we are delivering it today. So it's from two different places, so to say. Let's see, I need to do 3 doubles here. And then I had another parcel today, but that's delivered already. That's via DHL. The courier that's delivering these, they are all via the Post NL. PostNL is like US Post, basically. It's our national post service. And I have to say they generally do it pretty well. But you know, I think it's the first time I've seen the time jump back and forth this many times for 2 parcels. And it is 2 parcels, so and they're coming from different locations, yet I can see in the delivering that they will be delivered on the same time, which means that they're likely in the same car. Everything else would be plain stupid from their end, but sometimes you never know. I've once had the notice, like there was 2 times DHL to be delivered on the same day. This is like, I don't know, a year ago. And I got 1 parcel in the afternoon and I got 1 parcel at like 8 in the evening. So 2 different cars, 2 different couriers. Which I'm like, yeah, but if you know there's 1 parcel coming, then maybe you would deliver them together because you would definitely save on driving, fueling costs. So I don't know how much of their routing is done via computer. I think quite a bit is these days. Because I know, like, as you know, my mom has been in this system where she has been driving a lot more than one wanted to via the public services. And when she orders transportation, like patient transportation, I know that planning goes via a computer. So sometimes we can think, oh my goodness, that's the most crazy thing you've done. Like she once explained me that she was picked up at the hospital, so she was going to go home with the patient transportation. And she got picked up to the hospital. Then they drove like 2-3 kilometers into the city to pick up somebody else that they had to bring with them or had to dump at the hospital. And the courier then at the hospital picked up another patient after then drove on, which is like, it was the same hospital. So the guy picked up my mom, then went downtown to pick up the other lady, then went back to the hospital to pick up the new patient or next patient, and then they drove off, which is like, wouldn't it have made more sense for my mom maybe than to stay 20 minutes longer at the hospital? Because at least, you know, when you're stuck in a car, you can't just go to the loo or something like that. It can be a bit more convenient, I guess, to stay at a hospital then for 20 minutes longer. It's not necessarily a nice place to stay, but you know, for the convenience of the easiness of a toilet rather than being stuck in a car for 2 hours would be something I personally would prefer. But it just shows that the computer doesn't think like that, you know. The computer just sees, okay, this person is ready, this car is there, they have to go there, blah, blah, blah. And then they just add up the nice math rather than the what we as people would say would be the more logic math. Or he could still have like picked up the other lady and then taken on both passengers at the same time, which would have been more sensible, but he didn't. And the thing is, apparently, the chauffeurs aren't even allowed to think for themselves because then they won't get paid properly. Lisa says she ended up with 1 deer. 1 deer is still better than no deer. Let's look at the bright side of things. My dog has discovered my electric blanket. It's hers now, which sounds really nice and warm. Something is not adding up here. Oh, and I have a parcel coming. So, I'll be right back, ladies.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals, they take us higher. The night's young and it's just begun as she puts her hand in mine.
Thank you for your patience. I got a parcel. Actually, I got 2, but the one present is not worth watching. But this, my friend, should be my coat. So the real question is, are we going to look at this together? Or am I just going to hold it for an hour or so when I'm done streaming? I'm kind of keen to give it a look. I am kind of keen to give it a look. I should give it a look, shouldn't I? Helps me know if I need to plan. Open it, I'm told. Oh my goodness. I just need to make sure. I'm going to put my table that direction, because if I'm going to be standing here, so I probably need to take off this to fit it. But let's first just take it out of the fancy packaging. It feels fluffy, which is good. So we have a coat. This is like this grayish color. And a protectant bag. So we're going to try to see if we can open that without tearing it all up. Because what if I have to return it? That's the thing. I would not want to crack it too much up. But it's like this parka thingy. Ta-ta! On the back side. And it has fluffy. So I'm gonna try it on. But to do that, we'll have to get off this one. Because I'm definitely not gonna wear a poncho underneath my jacket. Yeah, I'm curious if I will fit. I think I will, actually. Now the next question will be how too much big will it be if it's too big? It's even fluffy on the inside. It's from the brand Ragwear. So and there is of course notions and all that inside, but let's try it on. Well, I can fit it in one side, so that's a bit start. Actually, I think this might be a good fit. Oh my goodness, if that's true, I am gonna be a really happy girl. It's warm, by the way. I'm indoor. This is a warm jacket. But it is my new winter coat. I need a new winter coat. So what is with it? Oh, that is gonna be a bit. I wonder if my arse is too big. It's not zipping up straight in a straight line, so it's intentionally like crossed over. It fits the arms, but it could be, you can't really see that actually. Let's see if we do the dual view. It's a little bit dark, and I can do like this, but it is like lengthwise, it's just covering. But it's just on the edge. I definitely can't get any, what's it called? Can't get any more arse. But further than that, it feels actually pretty okay, and it has nice deep pockets. I can zip them up too. I wonder how they look. If I'll flip you back to this screen, we can like, how do I look on the back? Acceptable, okay. It's not as long as my other jacket. I would have probably personally have wished it to be like this much longer, but it's not gonna be what's gonna hold me away. Yeah. Most important, I can actually have a sweater in this. I do feel I get a little bit of belly, but it's just because it's warm. But it would have been nice if it had a bit more width on the bottom end. But further, I think it's good. But my friends, this is like really warm. so I'm not gonna keep it on. But I think this could be indeed my new jacket. And now I'm happy that I ordered it a bigger size, because apparently my ass is bigger than what I would think. I may want to just see what my partner says about it, because, you know, I can't really see myself properly in the screen. So I'll probably have a new fit a bit later, but generally, and I just for a minute take off the headset, but I want my poncho back on. Even though one could say I've gotten the heat after fitting a winter jacket indoor. Actually, I most definitely have gotten the heat. I don't really feel it's necessary, all of this, but I also know if I don't, in like half an hour, I'll be freezing my ass off. More likely my legs, actually, but this is because, as I say, we keep the temperature a bit lower. If it really has to be the temperature I'd like to, it's going to be so terrible expensive. Can you sit comfortably? I don't know, actually. I will have to try. But that's not going to be now. But, well, you saw my potentially new jacket. More importantly, is I can kind of fit comfortable. And if mostly I won't wear a jacket in the car unless we only have to go like a few kilometers, then I'll actually take it off and use the heat in the car instead. But it would be nice to be able to sit in it. And I could be in doubt, but on the other hand, because it's not covering that much of my rear, I might, due to that, it will crawl up a bit, and then I don't have any issue sitting down at all, because I have plenty of space. It's just at the really widest part of my hips the issue is, and it will fit even better if I drop, let's say, 5 kilos. I'm not sure if this one it doesn't have a zipper in the bottom. It's just a one zipper thing. So there is that. There is that. But yeah, I think it's probably not too bad. I went with a lighter color because right now I have a really pitch black dark one. And I realized it's actually not very practical. It's dark because, you know, it's difficult to see you when it's dark outside unless you wear reflexes. And at least a lighter gray will light up a bit when somebody comes. So that was kind of my reasoning for going dark. Or I could have done red, right? But I didn't. Woohoo. Anyhow, where are we? We are here. Now we can go back to actually placing this in a proper way again. Because the delivery guy was there, and it took him like all of this almost aside to actually come. But yeah, most important is I have it, and I also got the other parcel with the present in, but you know, that's a bit of a more boring present. So okay, I'm looking here at, I know why it's not fitting. Haha, I made an extra double crochet somewhere where I shouldn't have, but it was only 3 stitches ago, so fixed. I should pop you guys over for seeing that, of course. So yeah, there's no extra thingy for that when sitting. But I think I'll be fine. But I will definitely check how that will work out. And I'm gonna do that in a bit more comfortable situation than when on a stream. Just having too many things laying around here too comfortable to do that. And if it's not sitting comfortable, it's easy. It's gonna go back, and then I'll have to go shop for another one. But size-wise, this might actually work. My current jacket is also on the edge and my hips. Because apparently I have a bigger ass than I would care to think. So what's the solution? I need to stop eating sweets. Two, four, five. I was, though, at the fitness yesterday, so I was a good girl. I need 6, don't I? Yeah, I do. So I did visit the fitness center yesterday. I didn't do as much or as a long workout as I had originally intended. Hmm. Because I had gotten into my head that they would close an hour earlier than they did. But I know that for next time when I'm a bit late. Then I can do a bit longer of a workout. Remnant says, I finished up a bit last night. Nothing more satisfying than putting something you have had into the hook on the finished pile. Definitely true. Let's have a look at it. It's a blanket with a Karen's 1 pound yarn. I'm still surprised how many blankets you can crank out, mate. Of course, I think it's valid to say grinding square blankets probably go a little bit quicker than mosaic blankets. For realistic matters. But yeah, it's still crazy the amount of blankets you make. And you have to find recipients for them all as well. But I know you are donating some of them. Lisa's agreeing. It is very satisfying to finish projects. I think we all have that feeling of satisfaction. I will finish my socks this morning. Oh, sweet. Spent the day with my niece yesterday and she fell in love with my socks, so I'll cast on a pair for her today. Now that's a risk, right? When you make something lovely, eventually other people will catch interest. That was a part of the luck of the draw make along, so I really only worked on it 1 day a week for 7 weeks. Yeah, okay. Still, it's a fair amount of work done. But yeah, a day a week is like the full day or just a couple of hours 1 day a week. We all know a row here takes like 2.5 hours, so hey, crying out loud. Here it's gotten so far, we have 223 stitches per side. So multiply 223 with 4. And you have, my friends, the amount of stitches I have in the round, which is 896. Bam. Oh no, 92. But still, 892. That's almost 900 stitches. Next row is 900 stitches around. I'm crying by the thought of it. But that won't help me any bit. It's a fun event. You can make whatever you want, but the colors you use each week are chosen by a random number. The time grew as the blanket got larger. First few weeks were like an hour or so. Yesterday took me most of the day. Yeah, okay. Makes sense. I've only ever really made one make-along. Our own project, as long as it was a shawl. So it was a free-to-choose shawl. And I used some hobby cotton, rainbow cotton, I think, or was it Hobby Friends? Anyhow, regardless. I need to detangle my yarn because it got stuck on the spindle. I think I've shown that one before also. I should have. And what I did a color a week. So some in the beginning, obviously, that went a bit. The project seemed to progress a bit faster because of obviously it being quicker. Ta-ta! Here we have it. The Jasmine T-shawl, and I changed color every week. So I started with the darker blue, and then changed into the next blue, etc. So every week a new color was added, and basically when the week started, I started working on that given color, and then once that was done, I could work on other projects for the rest of the week, because we got from like February 1st until sometime end April. So it was the perfect for me to I had, I think, 11 weeks and 10 colors. So doing it like this was the absolute perfect way of getting it done. So that's what I did. And I'm quite pleased with how it turned out. And I should genuinely make more posts on Instagram. So see, I even have a comment from the designer here. So that's nice. That's cool. For those not having my Instagram, I am on Instagram at by.mihoi to be found. I also have a link to my Instagram account on my profile here on YouTube. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. But I need to be better posting more often at Instagram. I've been neglecting it. Me being honest. So the make along in that sense was quite nice because it was quite free. There was also a prize to be won at the end. I was not the lucky winner, unfortunately, which was a Project Brag. So Lisa says, I've only ever participated in one make along. I know we could make make-alongs, I guess. I'm just not sure what, but give me some time to think. Maybe I'll figure someone out. And I'm not, make-along could be anything. You know, it doesn't need to be something I design and then you guys go ahead and do. I like the freedom of being able to pick your own project. That would be kind of cool. I think. Let's see. So what we did here was 2 singles, corner, 2 singles, and I think that is also, this should be what the pattern is saying. It does. Sweet. Do, 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 do. The one I did was earlier this year. It was with Liane from Nina Knots and Judy from Judy's Creation and Crochet. Okay. It was the Riptide shawl. Gorgeous. Four, 6, 8, 9. We need 2 more. And I actually need to turn the corners around this work because we, my friends, changed side. So I really need to do that because it just makes working so much easier. Rowan says, I love Nina's knots. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Perfect. I did it in Noro Sonata. I ended up winning the raffle prize at the end too. Awesome. What did you win? Like, what was the prize? So I'm sitting here genuinely hoping that this Trump dude will stop those crazy minimums, imports, fees you guys have, so that I can go back and maybe once in a while host a giveaway or something like that. That would be really nice. 2, 4, 6. Which technically I guess I could because they did change some of the rules, but I would really much hate for anyone to get caught in this crazy tax system you guys have over there right now. Tariff system, tariffs, tariffs, tariffs. You know, it's said that buyer consumer behavior has already changed rapidly due to these. And I haven't really figured out if it's for the better or for the worse, but one thing I do know for sure, and which is obvious for anyone having but just a little bit of knowledge of economics, the consumer is the person that's paying in the end. So I want a good size box of expression fiber arts yarn from Judy. Oh, that's nice. That's definitely a good price. You know, I'm sitting here with Stylecraft yarns here, Stylecraft Special DK, and I'm like, it works up like the hook slides through this yarn as butter. You know, it's such a pleasure to work with. Definitely not the last time. Then I do need to believe it's, yeah, it's 7 and then another 6. I've heard so much of Noro, but I've actually never had Noro yarns in my own hands. But I've been considering the chenille yarns that I've crocheted scrunchies with would be insanely nice and soft for hats and headbands. Is there only Noro yarn you've ever had? Okay. And meanwhile, we do have a few more watchers with us, I see. So hello to anyone new. Grab a cup of coffee or a cup of tea in the corner, sit down, find your projects to craft. I am normally live weekly, but next week I happen not to be live. It's probably going to be like a week and a half from here on. But I will very much be missing you for the duration when I'm gone. I believe it's going to be like Wednesday, 17th of December. Just finding my agenda. Yeah, Wednesday, 17th of December is when I'll be back. Live, that is. I'll be here with a few videos in between, though. And then I should be able to do the 19th maybe too, but it's going to be a shorter one because we have a Christmas lunch in the evening. So that is a little bit of an uncertainty, but I do expect it to be fine. Then it's going to be after Christmas again. But I did warn you guys last week that my December is always very, yeah, crazy. I know a lot of people do these vlogmases, post every day, which would be awesome, but I also realistically know I can't do that because as a period when I'm not home, well, maybe if I plan it really well and I record it in advance and stuff like that, then to some extent, yeah, but 2, 4, 6. And then I need to check again, how was it? 8 is the piece here. It's not typical Noro, there is no wool in it. Okay. I know that Pleta Yarns has Noro as well, a few of them. And I have to admit, I'm not really sure if Noro is and will be my preferred yarn. I guess it's just not speaking fully to me, combined with the price tag. And one way it's super nice, and at the same time I'm like, yeah, what am I gonna do with this? If that makes sense. 5. 3. And we're back to 4. We're almost in the middle of this side. And as I said today, I'm going to have to cut it a bit short, because there's a few things I need to get handled as well. Busy time is coming up. But I am definitely planning on finishing this side. On Sunday, the 2nd of Advent is coming, so we have another short. It is a shorter one of the Shop My Stash series coming up. And as I mentioned earlier, we are gonna stock my Ravelry and get that updated. In the new year, and I will make sure that that will be stocked with what I'm currently working on, so it's a little bit more clear as to what's actually in my stock. And then I'll just probably be updating the numbers as we get the videos sorted with my stash, and like give an actual update of those. Two, 4, 6, 8. And then we're back to, I do believe it's the 6s. It's 5. 2, then 2 singles, and a double, more singles, back to the doubles, and then that should also be 5. At least it's to some extent predictable right now. that. And then it's 7. We are getting closer to the end. I just have to kitchen up the toe on my sock, but not very proficient at it yet. I will have to wait after I'm done chatting with you all wonderful people. It's not going to be that long then. 10 minutes, 15 minutes maybe? Yeah, we'll have to test that jacket for sitting purposes to see how far off that will be. Because obviously I should be able to sit in it even if it's cold outside. If I'm waiting at a train station or something like that and I option to sit down, I should be able to sit without that being an issue. I am slightly ever so concerned if it's possible, but I guess it should be. But I'll better double check. One thing is for sure, it is going to be warmer than the current coat I have. And that's one of the issues it has, is that it's just worn out and it's just on this slightly thinner end. And it's a little bit too tight sitting on me, so I can't really easily take another sweater underneath. I did feel that I had plenty of room to take on a decent sweater underneath this coat, so that was really nice. But the real question is if my hips are too wide. And I have to say, I never considered my hips to be an issue when ordering a jacket. That, my friends, is a new concern to me. Lisa looks very much forward to my new Sort My Stash series. Well, I'm looking forward to making it. Mainly, I'm looking forward to actually get an insight into how much or how many years of work do I still have in my stash. Like 2, 4, 6. What can I actually do and make? Reverend says hips are often overlooked, but really should be consulted more often, as the song says they do not lie. Yeah, well, mine, I don't know, but we seem to be in a disagreement. But I do know I have wide hips. Like, it's not a surprise to me, actually. It's just the first time I've encountered an issue when it comes to jackets combined with my hips. With the exception of when the jacket generally is on the skinnier end, then read between the lines too tiny for me, then of course the hips don't fit in either. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. So we'll definitely need to do some testing there. I can consider us doing it together because We do have like 10 more minutes, but I'm not really gonna start on the next side on this. I'm just gonna do the corner and do the first few stitches to kind of get it started, and that's it. I'm not gonna turn the work around like I normally would do. Just gonna get the first stitches here started. That's pretty much it. And actually I might do those single crochets too, because the single crochets is a bit closer to the rest of the work. They're flapping less than the doubles, so it just feels a little bit more logic to get them on here. I already have yarn caked for my niece's socks. Maybe I'm weird. I love making things for other people more than for myself. It gives a nice feeling giving things away. I will have a little, very little small series for Christmas on the gifts that I'm giving away. But as I said, they will first be like probably going to be on the Friday of Christmas, like second Christmas Day or something like that, because we are all going to be busy with family and so on. But I'd like to show what I'm giving away, but I don't want to show it before they have received and unpacked them. 4, 6, 8, 9. I do believe it's 11. It is. 2 more. And that's it for crocheting bits of the stream. I think we did pretty okay given the disturbing factors during this stream. So we are just gonna, for practical reasons, fold up this friend. I will, of course, go through this also on the yarn talk video next week. What we actually did do, but let's see how much you can actually see. That's almost all of it. This is the center folded up in different colors. It looks much better in real life than the camera even dares to show. So let's pop back over here and go up here. Then what we can do is we'll go on the default setting and go over here. Ta-ta! We are back with my lovely face. That was a crocheting bits, and as I said, I kind of need to do this because today I do have plans. But the question should I make a sit test with you guys in that code? I guess I should. Of course, you guys are curious. We've talked about it. Like, will my hips lie or won't they? So I'll jump into it again for you guys. I'm just gonna pop off the screen to actually take it. I did place it over here on the table. And as I said, it is nice and warm. So that is really nice. And it is fleece coated. Like really fleece coated in the top. And all of the body has the same fleece coat padding. As well as there's some extra padding to make it thicker. And the arms are non-fleece, so you can easier stretch get your arms in. I guess the only downside I've found so far is it does make a bit of a funky noise. But I think it's just a question of you getting the jacket getting worn a bit. It also has extra cuffs here to kind of help you not getting cold in. So I think that's really nice. This is probably not the best vest for the coat, but it's what it is. We were gonna zip it. And I could, I guess. This is like... yeah. Time for sit test. Can I sit in this? And I can. That said, it's... I wouldn't say it's uncomfortable, but I wouldn't say it's super comfortable. It's on the edge. It's on the edge. It's not like squeezing in or anything, but it's tight. It's tight, but it works. And of course, this is lovely capuchon as well, which I can't really wear today because I have my hair up. But I think this is a good winter coat. Yeah, don't sit. Mostly when I would sit in this case. Also, it's like, it's not covering that much of my bum. We talked about that, right? Like, I should probably do like, give me a moment. I could grab the camera and turn down, but as I said, it just covers my bum. And when you sit, it just crawls up a little bit. And then if whatever you're sitting on is a bit cold, it's gonna be cold. But I wouldn't sit too much in any case. So it works. It works. I'll just have to check if my partner thinks it's a nice jacket too, and then I'll keep it. I went to put up my Christmas tree yesterday and I lost one of the feet for the stand, but it was just a super cheap little tree, so I now have to get a new one today. Oh my god, that's annoying. Good luck getting a new one. Ronan says I managed to get through all of the last row of the first sit section of this shawl. I started with the variegated yarn, so the stitches are not super visible, but the next 4 repeats will be solid colors. Right. And as Rona says, she's making Lisa's asking what pattern he's using, and it's a Chesapeake shawl by Johan Leonard. Have a great evening, Susan. Well, it's getting warm here again, so I'm going to take this coat off again. And it's probably also more or less coming to the end of this live, right? Because, you know, as I said, there's a few things I really need to get done today, and that would be really nice to get them done stress-free, and therefore it's a little bit shorter. Normally, I would have had a yarn talk today, but I decided to go live with you guys because I'm not home next week. So next week, you will get my yarn talk on Friday. On Sunday, you'll have my advent calendar, as well as next week, Sunday, you will also have my advent calendar. And then I will be live again next time in 12 days' time. So that is on the 17th of December, if everything goes according to my plans. So if you have watched this live all the way from the beginning to now, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and I'll see you in another video, or live for that matter. And looking forward to hang out with you again. It was wonderful again today, as always. Take care and have a good time until then. Bye.